Guys, welcome to the GhostPack podcast. This is episode 2. This is the Centurion Dragon Studios episode. So we have the full crew of the Centurion Dragon Studios, the game studio. We have the CEO and coder Troy, aka the Anti-Gamer Slayer.
What's
And then
up,
we have,
guys?
yeah, give your shout outs, or show the Tetris arcade thing you're just showing us, because that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, while I was waiting for these two to get ready for the podcast, I was playing one of my mini arcade cabinets. I have tons of these things, and I just picked this one up yesterday. Very fun.
That's the one with a bubble and Tetris.
No, actually, that was the Tetris one. This is the Bubble Bobble one. There's two separate ones. This is Bubble Bobble.
Oh, two separate. Oh, bubble bubble. Yeah, I never heard of that, but it seems pretty cool. It's like, I guess, like kind of like a Bejeweled type thing, or like a bubble pop thing. No.
The best way I can describe it is, imagine a video game you'd come up with on an LSD trip or a mushroom high.
Yeah. No sad.
Or like something you would do on a mushroom high. Like the game's concept is like something you would do when you're high on mushrooms. You're a fucking dragon, and you're blowing bubbles to fight enemies, and then hopping on the enemies that are in bubbles. Then the enemies fly around everywhere and then transform into fruit, which you can then pick up for bonus points. When you annihilate all enemies on a floor, you then ride a bubble to the floor below you and just keep going till you die.
Nice. No, fun fact. I was actually on mushrooms the first time I was at Horsepen.
Okay, that explains a lot, actually.
It was actually after we had talked about doing some video game stuff together. It was like that night. And even the next time I went over there, I was way too high on shrooms. But I actually met Troy.
Why am I not surprised?
I don't know. I'm the musician guy. I got to do shrooms. So you're not surprised because
I don't really care how high or drunk you are, as long as you get the job done.
True, but
what'd you say, dude?
It was actually at a celebration of life. My friend that passed away, he had gotten his ashes spread on Horsepen, so we were all over there, him and his family, and they're super duper hippies. So we did mushrooms and we drank and we smoked, and then we passed like the bottle around on the rock they spread his ashes across, and we had a good night. I just got way too high, and I ended up like feeling pretty nauseous. And then the next time I took a whole cap and I was like, oh my god, it started storming and I was like walking through the trees over there to get to my car because it was storming and I was like, I gotta dry off in the heat. And like the trees were like looming, dude. Like they were getting farther and farther away as I was walking to it. Anyway. So we didn't introduce the other person in the call, which is Edgelord, aka Shane, and he's the artist, the official artist for Centurion Dragon Studios.
Yeah, hey, what's up, people? Just not feeling good right now, but
This is a little segue, like, oh yeah, we did shrooms. Oh yeah, here's our artist, by the way.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I feel like ass.
He's also the oldest person on the team, surprisingly.
Yeah, I'm old dirt. I've been around Earth since Earth was
eons ago. He was finally encrusted from the.
I was creating art since Earth was being art.
Yeah, the original artist was you because you created Earth, right?
So, did you work Prometheus, or did Prometheus make you? Or did you come from someone's testicles like Aphrodite?
No, Prometheus made me and sent me here to make this place and make it happen.
Yeah, make it happen you shall.
Yeah.
It shall be the best.
And then the Xenomorphs tried to chase me here and I was like, fuck off.
Damn it. Well, at least you defended them off for us.
Yeah, I was like, nah, you can't invade this place. This is my place, bro.
That's my turf.
Yeah. No. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the game and check us out, please.
So the official game is Myths and Monsters. It's out on Steam. Yeah. Just came out July 3rd. And we really hope you can check it out and play it. It was on sale for $7.99 just a few days ago. So if you catch it on sale, make sure you buy it, wishlist it so you can get that notification. It's called Myths and Monsters, and we worked really hard on it. Even though you got a little time crunch.
Yeah, sadly, I joined in late, so like I had 3 months to pretty much, or 2.5, 3 months to create like 50 some characters and like title
Every enemy
screen.
sprite.
Every enemy and some of the allied characters.
Yeah, so I tried really hard and you know just put my work and effort out and hope enjoy it.
People liked it though. It was a good reception.
Yeah.
You
Like,
definitely got your good feedback and
yeah, I was gonna say like
you know,
we would definitely appreciate comments on YouTube or Steam.
Yeah.
We're
We're still looking for feedback.
Yeah, we would love to talk to y'all about or respond to y'all whatever, ask away.
I mean, we have an
comment
official
away.
YouTube.
Oh, what? Sorry.
I was saying we have an official YouTube channel and a Discord server, so
Yeah.
that's a
That's
great way to
actually
get
where
in
we're
contact.
conducting the interview. Make sure you tap in.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the head of the studio, so he's started this Discord as well as the YouTube channel, and he's the one that got me into it. He's the one that got uh Shane hired. I'm the one that met Shane, but I kind of like talked with him a little bit about what I do, and he was super intrigued, and he always wanted to make some video games, just like me. I tell Troy all the time, it's like one of my childhood dreams like come true.
I really thought you was crapping with me at first.
He's crapping, yeah, no,
Yeah,
I don't
really.
crap about that.
I was like, you're like, yeah, I just make music for a game, dude. I'm like, huh? I'm like, hold on. You're like, yeah, we kind of need an artist. And I was like, okay, here's my sketchbooks.
Yeah, I was looking
And
through
you're
it. I was
like,
like, this. I was probably said it looks kind of like Dragon Ball.
yeah, well, I love Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if it takes Paul to know.
And then you're like, are you 100% sure about joining? I'm like, dude, I'm 200% sure.
Yeah, you said 200%.
Yeah.
I was like, bet. Let me contact Troy.
Yeah, and then we just made it happen. And well, so.
I think Troy was like, oh, does he want to do like a few, or does he want to join the? I was like, he's 200% down to join the team.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah, we needed a third member because the studio was actually founded originally by me and my now ex-girlfriend, who is now infamous. She was actually the original artist. And that, if you want to know why this guy had to spend 3 months to get everything done, it was because she bailed.
Yeah, she bailed. She also only did like 3 sprites and then bailed after like spending months on those sprites.
Yeah, she did more work than she did in 3 months than she did in like a year and a half. Like, she helped out with Nova Rebellion, and she did some work for that, but she was notoriously hard to communicate with. Like that, I'm not going to get into details about that relationship because it was just a pain in the ass all the way down.
True.
But yeah, we did found the studio in Arby's.
Go ahead, dude. We have the meats.
Wait, go ahead.
And the games. Okay, no, sorry.
We found it in Arby's. Yeah, we actually originally started on her computer, but over time I saved up enough money to buy up my own. A pink computer, actually. The thing wore out because it only had 2 gigs of RAM. That should tell you how cheap this thing was. But I remember that I started that production of games on that because she was notoriously unreliable when it comes to working on her own time. And we prototyped a bunch of games together, and eventually she broke up with me. And then I met Jared about that time period, back when me and her were still together at Horsepins.
Yeah, I never met him.
Jared got
I did hear a lot about the relationship y'all had. And I mean, y'all were together for a while, so I didn't really expect a breakup. But also, I didn't know like behind the scenes because I never met her. But we did kind of start collaborating, just kind of like over the phone, since I did live like 2 hours away at the time. We kind of took an approach of like email and text and calls. We just like chat, and we became fast friends, I think, like pretty soon after that. I would say like the first thing we did, right, was the battle theme because you kind of wanted to test the water, see what I could do. And I was like super inspired at the time, and I just cranked one out. Like this battle theme really felt like immensely powerful. So he was like, "All right, dude, you're hired." I was like, "Hell yeah!" I was like, "Testing phase complete."
Sure, I pretty much did the testing thing.
Yeah, let's get your contract written. Yeah, let's get your contract written up for your royalties.
Shit, as soon as you told me about, me joining, I figured you that I'd drop Callum.
Yeah, Callum came out. I think I accidentally did the colors wrong, but it
That's
came out
right.
great, and we changed the
That's
colors,
right.
and it was like,
You don't really
holy
get the
shit.
Steam like pop up though, sadly. You only see like a little mini
Yeah,
or whatever you want to call it.
we got the characters
Like,
for the allies.
hold on.
Like Callum was the first one, and then
Yeah.
I think you did the which enemy was it next? It was
The bandits.
the bandit.
That was like my first enemy sprite.
It was like the Raker was like
Oh yeah.
fourth. There's one in between it.
Something like that. I think I did the slime pretty early.
Yeah, it was a slime that was like
Yeah,
the first enemy.
that's right. Yeah, and then I did the pirate captain.
You did that a little bit later. I
Oh,
think
that's
you
right.
did Raven next.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was great. And then, yeah, it was quite a few.
I might flash the
What
images
do
of
you
these
think of
characters
them?
on the screen as we talk about it in the edits.
Maybe.
We'll edit that in post.
No,
But
yeah,
yeah, we've been successfully kind of like working, collaborating, and trying to attempt like this video game industry,
yeah.
indie stuff. We actually have another game out called Nova Rebellion. It's a space shooter, and that one has some really cool feedback on the music and on the gameplay. It was really fun actually. It took a lot like to make all those songs, but also it was like in such a short amount of time. It didn't even feel like it took that long, even though it's like what, like
A couple
almost like 15 songs, something
Oh,
like that, between me and Troy.
Yeah,
yeah,
I actually remember I composed. See, I remember I composed most of Nova Rebellion soundtrack because that's much more electronic rock primarily. And Shane, weren't you having some issues like trying to find a job when I was developing the game primarily? There was something or another, and then
Or
you
no,
showed up near the end and did. Go ahead,
oh, was he talking about Shane or me?
Jared. Sorry, I
Yeah,
meant to say Jared.
I
But
think
you were like,
I think at this time I was in Birmingham. I knew what you meant.
yeah,
I just
yeah,
wanted to
and
double check.
you showed up at the end to develop the boss themes. I actually remember I did have one boss theme done before you showed up and gave us Lunatice, and that was the it got transitioned to the credits theme. So
Yeah,
that dun, 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 song, it's the credits theme. That's actually the beta version of the first boss theme.
I got a lot of good feedback from whenever you played that song over at Horsepens.
Yeah,
that's cool.
like
Yeah, he played it for a
yeah,
lot
but
of like, people that would stop by and check out the game.
yeah, I got like a lot of feedback from the soundtrack, and Lunatice is like one of his most popular songs on that soundtrack. And speaking of which, I figured I would point this out that if you were wanting to know the first song he did for the studio on the Myth and Monsters soundtrack, it is called Engage. That is the main battle theme of Myths and Monsters, Engage. Look that up
Yeah.
on the Myths and Monsters soundtrack on YouTube.
Yeah, the OST is out. It should be on all platforms and YouTube. Go ahead and check it out. Shameless plug.
And
Hey,
also,
for shameless plugging, check out Twisted Monarch. I did that one. That's like my magnum opus.
Twisted
Is it 8 minutes
yeah.
long? Yeah, but it's badass.
8 minutes long of Twisted Monarch's kind of like almost like a soliloquy, like his own theme. He's like kind of enveloped in. It's like the thematic entrance and the thematic exit, the thematic everything about him. Draven.
The
yeah.
final
You find
boss,
him at
yeah.
the start of the game. His name's Draven, so it's not a spoiler,
Yeah,
but yeah.
Twisted Monarch is his first battle theme, and I did the first phase of the final battle, and Jared did the second phase, and actually kind of remixed Twisted Monarch a little bit. And both versions are pretty good. And I mean, Twisted Monarch is designed to be like this Drevin's battle theme. Like you're supposed to feel like, oh crap, I'm screwed. I'm not gonna spoil it much, but I did everything psychological trick I could pull in the book to make the player feel like, oh shit, I'm fucked. And Twisted Monarch is supposed to like nail that home. And then when phase two kicks in, it's Jared's version, and it's nowhere near as intense. It's much more lighthearted, which is kind of the point because it's you pretty much know that victory is guaranteed at this point.
Yeah. Well said. I like the psychological input, like that you can go into music. You can really pull at like the heartstrings, or you can like inflict someone's like mind with some sort of like with like minor chords or like shifts between octaves and stuff. There's like a way to kind of like envelop all these feelings that truly just shine in different ways, or darken the room instead of shining. Like with Twisted Monarch, I feel like it definitely adds like a little shade to the room, and you're like, ooh, what is this cold draft feeling I feel? So
That is a lot of orchestral instruments and distorted guitars playing. Whoever was talking, go ahead and talk. I should not have cut you off.
no, you're good. This is just like ADHD brain. I'm just like ready to you know what I mean, like roll. But we got some secret game that we're kind of like trying to not talk about, but we definitely have a lot under wraps that we're trying to make sure is, really solid and enjoyable for the players. So I would say be on the lookout, but also we're gonna come at you with a lot of new stuff. A lot of stuff that might make you like feel like, oh, they're really improving as a studio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
have
would hope
a
so.
few projects. I mean, I personally am prototyping a few different projects, and we're working on a few here and there. So I'll definitely keep an eye out for over the next like year or so, or I'd say 12 months or so, probably the best way to put it, so you didn't misunderstand that. But over the next 12 months or so, to see what next games we got coming out.
Yeah, because we're actually working on one or two right now. But yeah, we're definitely trying to push some more out soon for. But we hope for y'all check out this Miss Monsters and maybe even Nova Rebellion. Also, would be really wonderful.
Mhm.
Because actually, I would go. I'm going ahead and just say this: that one of the projects we're working on actually relates to Nova Rebellion. So please check that out, so you can kind of understand this next project that hopefully we're going to push out.
Yeah, we
Well,
have social media.
there
We
you
have
went and spoiled the
YouTube.
surprise, but yes, Nova Rebellion 2 is officially in development. It's actually with the subtitle The Religious Connection,
The religious connection.
Well,
which
now we're going into religion.
it is. I'm going to tell you a little bit about its development because it's been under hell. So, I originally had an almost complete build of the game made. Jared can vouch for me on this. And then
Mm.
G developed my engine, updated, and crashed the entire damn thing and corrupted all the code.
Yeah,
So
so
I have
now
all
we
the
got to start everything from
assets.
scratch.
True.
So, and I tried my best to fix the code. It was basically the best way I can explain it in simple terms is every variable. I don't know if anyone knows what variables are in games, but
X, Y,
basically
and
every
Z.
stat,
Really?
every point, and every save data as a variable. Every variable just got fucked. So it's like tons and tons of variables. We're talking hundreds of them. I would have to go in there individually and try to fix individually, and it was just completely unfeasible. So I
What a
decided to build
variable.
it from the.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you had to build it from scratch again.
Yeah.
But I think isn't what a
Now,
variable like a string of code that kind of is built upon like and built upon and built upon each other, so it makes something work and
Like
it
a
makes
safety
sense.
net, kind of.
Kind of like yeah,
Or a
I
like
net.
a
think you're talking
string.
about a bool. No, you. I don't know what that would be called. Maybe a boolon is a term you would use for that, but that's not what it is.
I thought
That's
it was
a
pronounced
variable.
boolean.
Variables. Okay, so in coding, a variable always like holds a value, generally a number, but it can also be text. And generally in GDevelop, the engine I use, that's how I dictate. So, for example, I'm actually going to tell you about Mitsuma. I mean, not Mitsuma. Nova Rebellion 1's variable system. So all the music in that game runs off a variable system. So there is actually a separate scene, like a separate set of code called the music player, and that connects to every single other part of Nova Rebellion. So I've been working on Myth and Monsters so long I get that confused. Anyway, and
Yeah.
depending on a text variable, whatever that text variable says, and that can be changed different ways, like when you start a new level, it changes, or when you go to the music player, it changes. It will change the music to fit that. I actually had to build that system because there was the music player system where you could unlock new songs, and I had to figure out a way to make it to where I could play those songs or like have those songs play throughout the game without like
variables.
what'd you say?
A quick lesson on variables. You're learning.
And I'm still lost, but I'm listening now.
Yeah, so all the music functions in the first Nova Rebellion are literally handled by a text variable. That's how the game knows what music to put where. Unlike most games, which would just load the music up at the beginning of the level.
Yeah. So there's like shifts between moments, like kind of like a cutscene.
Sounds like we're creating our own Matrix.
Kind of. I mean, the Matrix is also just like a lexicon, you know, when there's like words that have specific strings of meanings that basically. Oh gosh, this that's kind of weird to get into. Like the
No, I'm just saying.
like a matrices of like learning new things in a textbook. Like you know, they have the word bank, and then you learn the new things. Like you never think about going into school, and then you learn about like a sequestered like soil when like the water is like inside of it, like a sequestered like I forget what, but it's like you learn that word, and you're like, what the fuck? It's sequestered. I never thought I would hear about that.
Oh, I should take agriculture, I guess.
Yeah. Isn't there something to do with the water, like in the soil or some sort of sand or soil or something? Sequestering? What's up with the look?
I like how these cats are just loving this piece of crust.
Yeah, the cats are eating the pizza crust.
Mm. Sounds like your cats are basically garbage disposals.
Yeah, like hydration underground, like yeah, we're talking about matrices and like how it could be like a lexicon and learn new words and stuff. And when you go to school, you learn a lot of new words and applications of the words, phonics and lexicon and
Failed at phonics.
literacy.
That's why he draws, because he can't word.
Drawing's pretty awesome though. I used to draw so much as a kid. I would draw like Link from Legend of Zelda and like Mario, and I would just practice until I got good and could draw it by memory and stuff.
Should
I think it's supposed to be in shade over there.
Hopefully not rained on.
Yeah, hopefully not.
come rained on.
But anyway,
yeah.
so I guess we could talk a little bit about our inspirations, even though we touched that in the video. We have a video on the Centurion Dragon Studios Direct for Myths and Monsters, but I just wanted to start off by saying I am infinitely inspired by a lot of the alternative rock and like hip hop scene that I was like kind of like I spent like 10 years listening to like the same music. So I listened to like a lot of Linkin Park, a lot of hip hop like Mac Miller, Ethereal, um upcoming artists too, but I want to give a big shout out to like New Jage, and like Jay Dilla, Clams Casino, because those types of style of drums and like sampling is just like superb, like quenching my thirst, you know. And then there's a lot of like crate digging that you'll find a lot of like really cool samples too. And I just really love getting like into like hearing a new song for the first time. And New James really perfected a lot of the samples because he would flip them and turn them into a beat. And he was a Japanese like hip hop artist, kind of like Jay Dilla. Jay Dilla did a lot of like samples with his MPC and like drum kit and stuff, drum pad. And he would hit like a lot of really fun songs. But also I got into like electronic music for like 8 years or 6 years. I was listening to like electronic music just straight up. And I started like making my own beats around 2016 because I was inspired by a lot of artists like in the also big shout out to Amai. Amai is really cool. He has hip hop and trap like cloud type music, really high class sounding, like samples and well, I don't know if he samples that well, like that much. He does like his own beats. I think he just does like melodies really well. Um, he really does like these. And I've interacted with him on Instagram. He's pretty cool, and I always just try to show love, where it's due, because I'm actually really inspired by MI. And um, he's one of the like the people in like 2016, 17, 15, somewhere around there when I started making music that I really just like started producing these beats, and it hit different. That's all I gotta say. Like it hit different. And ever since then, it's been 10 years since I started making beats and stuff. It kind of went from hip hop to electronic to like sometimes I'd make these like trap metal type sounding stuff, and I would have like these um Metal Gear like Rising Revengeance type style beats that I would try to do. And I could never get the guitars too well because I don't play it in person. I just try to get it on my synthesizer and stuff. But I'm just like inspired by a lot of video game music as well. Obviously, Metal Gear and Sonic. Those are my two like top faves. Um, but yeah, Nintendo, stuff like that.
I guess I'll talk about mine now.
Yeah, I was kind of all over the place there.
Go for it.
All right, I guess I'll talk about my inspirations of art. I'm trying to think of early, like when I was a wee little grasshopper. No, I just don't know if I had any inspiration back then. I guess Pokemon. I guess Pokemon honestly might have been it because yeah, I was young, when it first came out, and I started around like 7, 8, 9 years old drawing, and it was some goofy looking characters, like goofy, like look like straight out of kindergarten, but and I hopefully evolved over the years. I would hope so. And then of course when I was like 12, 13. I kind of discovered Dragon Ball Z more, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. And Naruto, Bleach, Inuyasha, Death Note. So like, yeah, all that definitely inspired me to draw more of like their style. And I used to kind of suck at that too at first, of course, and tried my hardest, and it kind of looked like some goofy looking anime characters. It came out like JoJo Bizarres or something like I don't know. Or
Bro,
like
you
One
have good
Piece.
art,
I mean, it is, but I'm just
but it's wacky.
it's exactly. It's like a wacky art style. So like I started like that at first, and I'm like, you know what? I want perfection though. Akira Toriyama, shout out to him. I love him. I'm going to miss him. And he's my favorite. The Dragon Z artist, Dragon Quest artist. So anyway, so like yeah, I kind of got into like the Dragon Ball Z like where I really trying to aim for that. But of course, put my twist to it to make it my own. Got to do that. I can't copy that dude, man. He's a legend. There's no way. But yeah. So that's all I was saying. If you check out my art, let me know what you think of it in the game and stuff, and see if I'm at least decent enough to be his little apprentice, maybe. If not, I guess I'm just a goofy artist and a goofy goober
I'm
artist.
sure maybe in the
Mhm.
afterlife he'll take you under his wing.
I really hope so, man.
In
He's
other
my
world,
favorite. I love. But oh wait, on the real note, like or not real note, my man. Sorry, I didn't mean the real note, but in the I'm trying to think of the better way to put this. I'm sorry, I'm not good with words. I suck at vocab. That's why I do art.
my chaotic assortment of everything I was talking about.
All right, so I'm trying to say of like I guess of more of like the like the fine arts there, the fine arts of world of museums and stuff like my old and still my favorite would be Salvador Dali. Just saying and what's that? There's like one more, but I can't think of his name. But so pretty much anyway. So
What art does he do?
surrealism.
Surrealism.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the melting clock.
Oh,
That was one of his
yeah.
favorite. I mean, famous ones.
What the guy you were trying to think of the name?
Yeah, no, I can't think of his though. But Salvador Dali did the
Yeah,
melting
Dolly
clock.
did that.
Yeah. dude, he was beyond his time. Like he was around like I think the 30s and 20s or 40s, 20s, and he just to me he made stuff like beyond his time. Like back then people didn't think of that stuff. They was like more into like impressionism and realism and stuff, like the stuff like they see like ships and and landscapes. But he was like, oh, well, I already know how he came up with this stuff.
Like stuff.
Yeah, let's just say he did some helpers, and he also threw himself downstairs to boggle his brain to create these artworks somehow. But yeah, so please do not do this, people. I'm just saying this because I did a big 8-page research paper in one of my art classes because I love him. He's a great artist. But anyway, but yeah, I hope y'all check out. Just letting y'all know a couple of my big inspirational artists that I love, mainly Akira Toriyama and Salvador Dali. But the game isn't surrealism, so trust me, I'm not going to put melting clocks all over the place or something. I mean, we might go into maybe a trippy game, possibly. If you want to give us a heads up about that, we could try that out. Just saying, if y'all want us to
An
try
extra
that,
whatty game?
huh?
Did you say an extra pervy game? What?
No, I said a trippy game, like something trippy, like melting clocks,
Oh, I was
like pink
okay,
elephants or
yeah, sorry.
something. I don't know,
I've been
not
up since
trippy, trippy.
5 o'clock
No,
this
no,
morning, and I've been running,
no.
hard. So my
No, not extra trippy, not extra pervy. I mean, never mind. But anywho's.
Oh yeah, shout out
say,
to John.
you would never
He
know about
couldn't make
Garvey.
my
I'm pretty sure your
co-host.
ceiling has naked women on top of it.
Yeah, curvy clouds.
Yeah, I got them curvy mountains on my ceiling.
Yo, shout out to Sean. He couldn't make it here. He was my co-host at GhostPack, and he's gonna be here for the next episode. But he's also an amazing artist. You should check him out. His name's Dead Boy Walking. He has a studio called Athalia Studios. He makes like these alternative rock, hip hop music. And he was originally gonna be here, but it
Yep.
was a little too late. So shout out to him. Check him out. And then
Yeah, he
let's ask
actually did the
Troy about
credits.
his. Yeah, he did the credits theme. He did Rip Icarus with me. We did the credits theme for Miss Monsters and the opening instrumental. But Troy, what was some of your inspirations that you could delve into?
For coding.
I'm a little tired, so I might not be hitting everything.
Well,
But the biggest inspiration for me, gaming wise, has to be depends on which game in particular, because I take inspiration from all kinds of games. Like, I'm a huge gamer. Like, I have tons and tons of stuff like this. Like, I collect these. I have boxes in the back. Everything from Galaga, the Space Invaders, to Sonic. I got all that stuff. But I don't really know what game in particular made me decide, okay, I'm going to do this. I think it was more of gaming in general. I just really liked it. And also keep in mind that my memory before the age of 10 is extremely fuzzy. Like, just I barely remember anything from what time period when I was a kid, as weird as it is.
Nah,
But
me too. Me too.
anyway, I just really like making games. Thought it was cool. And for Myths and Monsters in particular, the biggest inspirations, technically the four big ones are Witcher. That was a big one. That's why it's so dark fantasy.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem actually influenced the romance
yeah.
options in the support system, which
Yeah,
I'm going to be emphasizing much more in later entries. This is just a test run. Trust me, later entries are going to really lean into that.
Oh,
The Legend of Zelda. I'm a huge Zelda fan, and that's where a lot of the dungeon designs comes from. Another thing I need to work on and improve. And lastly, Fantasy Star. No one here probably knows what Fantasy Star
dude,
is.
it's on Nintendo. Yeah, I remember that. That's an old one.
I've listened to the soundtrack.
Nintendo.
Yep, Nintendo. Yeah, I know that one.
Look at this genius. He thinks Fantasy Star was a Nintendo game.
It is.
That was a Sega game, genius. And it was the first sci-fi RPG. It was Sega's answer to Final Fantasy.
I could have sworn it was on Nintendo also.
No, it was a Sega exclusive until it was released. Fantasy Star Online 2 was released on the Game Boy. No, it was Phantasy Star Online 2 was released on GameCube. That was actually the first console MMORPG, Phantasy Star Online. A game I'm gonna have to play with the studio members someday for the YouTube channel. That's gonna be awesome. And I think the first Phantasy Star, because see, unlike most series, Phantasy Star didn't go on until Infinity. It had one on the Sega Master System, the first one. Then it had 3 sequels on the Genesis. And then the series just went silent until Phantasy Star Online became a thing. And after that, dead silence again. Like Phantasy Star is like a series that just kind of died out. But the TP system, I actually got the idea for the the front view combat and the TP, which by the way, tactical points are used way differently in Myths and Monsters than they are in Phantasy Star. But that's where that comes from, is Phantasy Star.
Yeah, now Sega's dabbling in more than just that, so they don't even have time to make it. And isn't the CEO of Sega like just getting out of jail for like embezzlement or something?
That was actually the creator of Sonic, and what he was in jail
Oh, okay,
for
it was a
was
Sonic guy.
fraud. I think it was in. I can't remember what the charge was, but basically it was a stock market scheme.
Yeah, I think it was
And his name's
investing or
Yuji
something.
Naka.
Yuji Naka. Damn it, Yuji Naka. Why you gotta be fraudulent? You're supposed to be Sonic's favorite happy camper. I don't know.
Anyway,
Oh man.
anyway, but when it comes, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I'm just trying to find though. That's so crazy. It might have been.
Phantasy Star.
Yeah, I could swear. Must be another
I haven't
Nintendo
played it,
game.
but I've listened to it on the YouTube's soundtrack and stuff. There's some pretty cool ones.
Anyway,
But yeah, it was on
what
the
was I?
Master System and then on the Genesis, and then they had one on GameCube.
Hmm.
It was also on Dreamcast. Keep that in mind.
Oh yeah,
Anyway,
Dreamcast.
This is one I'm thinking about, the 1987 one. It does say Sega. That's crazy though. I could have sworn.
You just got Mandela affected.
No, it might be another game that's close to it for that Nintendo had.
Final Fantasy.
No, I know Final Fantasy, of course. I mean, everybody knows that. Unless you're not against
Fantasy
it.
Star.
It was something close to that.
Star Ocean. Are you talking about Star Ocean?
I don't think so. Hold on. Let me look at NES RPG game.
While he's doing that,
Yeah. I'll keep.
why don't we talk about how we write stories, right? So I think Troy probably has the best master class like he could give about writing for video game stories because he also has to code it into the game. But I just wanted to like chat about like our in-depth like kind of ways we make stuff and have people kind of listen to the process. So if you want to get into that.
Perfectly fine. Generally, most of the time, I'm the one that starts out the stories, and I can get inspiration from basically anywhere. But I've done like a lot of research into like story structure, and also keep in mind I'm a huge mythology guy, so I know like the hero's journey and like mythological stuff and all that.
Yeah.
And I studied psychology quite a bit, so I could write better stories. That was the main reason. But
Well,
like for example,
what about the psychology of story analysis in games?
uh, it's a little complex topic, but I think the best example I can give you is this is going to be a minor spoiler for Myths and Monsters. But okay, so there's a track called I Am Waiting. I'm pretty sure you two have heard it. I don't know how many people who are listening to this have heard it, but it's called I Am Waiting. You listen to it on the soundtrack, it's a piano piece. It is used as the game over theme. This is called psychological conditioning. Basically, whenever you get a game over, you hear the opening chords of I Am Waiting. If you keep letting it sit there, it'll start playing through the song. So now the player knows, okay, every time I get killed, I hear this. Guess what Drevin is playing on the piano when you march right into his castle for the final battle?
Oh yeah,
I Am Waiting. That's how it got its title. It is literally, and it's meant to be like, oh crap, I'm dead. I'm
Yeah,
so
that's
dead.
like the oh crap moment. It's like the referential like psychology of you emphasize that it's on the game over screen. So whenever they hear that, it's like, oh shit, did I just
Yeah,
lose?
that's
You know, they kind of snap into it, like, yeah. Have you ever gotten into like a psychological, like in piece in the writing? So whenever you get to like moments of characters having dialogue and stuff, is there any sort of like manipulative moments with Driven and the guy from the other side, or is it more just like for like story beats, like to make it like an epic moment?
I think I use it more for story beats than anything else. I definitely study like how to get people invested in the characters, but I think it's more for like big story beats and like manipulating their perception because you can't really manipulate someone's psychology with just words alone. Like that's something very
Yeah.
difficult to do. And if I got to that point, it would feel like I'm almost coercing them to play the game. I do it more of in a way of like making them feel something, like with the
Yeah, I
Driven
guess that
thing.
makes sense. Now
Like
it
so
kind of
generally,
feels a little stupid because I'm like, yeah, what if it's just a word psychological? No, yeah, it definitely takes a lot to like psychologically impact someone.
yeah, but I try to like music's very important. Like a story beat with music behind it, that is how you really nail it. Especially if you can just make musical association with like different scenes and stuff. That helps a lot. But
Yeah,
anyway, I get a lot of but when it comes to inspirations, I take from everywhere. Like Dredden was literally inspired by as tactless as it's gonna seem, school shooters. Like I see all the news all the time, and it was like, and people talk about gun control and all that, and Dredden is essentially a school shooter with magic. Like that's basically what he is. It's like what causes someone to do that, and then I started writing Dreven's character, and then I put
damn,
him
that's
in the
pretty
game, and
deep.
basically, yeah, like he has all the makings of a school shooter, except instead of given a gun, he was given unlimited magical power, and you see the absolute havoc he's wrecked with it. Like that's
Yeah,
essentially what it is. Like it's some it's most school shooters. Now I'm not over trying to overbroad like broadalize or like oversimplify things. I'm just being honest. The consistent pattern is generally they're psychologically tortured by people, like whether it be bullies or their home environment or something. And sometimes medications can play into that. The important thing is they're not like stable people at first. And then they get given power, essentially the gun, and what are they going to do with it? If you gave
yeah,
someone like that magic, yeah, you would get a Dredden, essentially. And heck, I'm pretty sure Rip Icarus was written like about
yeah.
a school
See, that's what I
shooter.
was trying to get at. Is that me and Sean wrote that song about school shooters from the school shooter's perspective.
Yeah, and that's why it's used so heavily with Dredden. Like there's it's used the instrumentals are used in the opening. I remixed the song quite a bit throughout the game. It's called Strategy version on the soundtrack, and I did that remix. And then it's on the full lyrics are used at the very end of the game in the
What's
last
crazy
cutscene
is
and
that
over.
we made that separate from the idea of why you made Driven. We just kind of did that on our own as well, and then we kind of merged it together because it made sense.
Yeah, a Nova Rebellion story.
Probably.
There's a few separate things that did that. A few different forces. One, what's the world gonna look like in 1,000 years? I mean, I sure hope we have space travel. Otherwise, humanity's just screwed. I'm gonna be honest with you. We need to get off this planet in the next 500 years. Otherwise, I don't think we're in a
I don't
good
think
shape
anyone
as a
can
species.
survive. For one, there's too
But
many
Nova.
people. For two, it's so damn hot in this day and age that like imagine in 500 years.
I don't
And for three, I'm pretty sure the lifespan is only like 1 billion more years before, maybe even less than that. What was it like? It's like
It's
the
4
sun.
billion actually,
4 billion,
I
yeah.
believe.
Because it's like the sun has been around for like 50 billion years or some shit, and then like we only got like 4 billion left until it explodes,
In other
which is a
words,
lot of years. But at
supernova
the same
go
time,
boom.
yeah, if a supernova doesn't just or a meteor the size of Earth just collapses into it. But, I mean, I feel like the
Yeah,
natural step for humans is definitely space travel because it's written about so much time. So many times it's written about in media, and then like to actually have supposedly have Tesla like trying to get us to Mars, like whenever we see that if it happens. Like that's gonna be a huge milestone for sure. But that's also a signifier that only the richest people on Earth or like the biggest businesses can even achieve it. So it's like, is it gonna be monetized to go to space, or are we gonna all have it? Like,
Well,
is music gonna
we
be
live in a
banned?
capitalist society, and I think capitalism is the way to go. And as a side effect of that, well, it's going to be mostly rich people in space,
Yeah.
at least for a while. As technology gets better, civilians will, and people like everyday people will be able to go up there much easier. I think personally. I mean, you gotta keep in mind, technology like this doesn't just evolve overnight. First, only the rich and powerful are going to be able to afford it. And then over time, over the course, I would say probably a century or so, it'll slowly but surely get more affordable for like the average Joe to do it.
That makes a lot of sense. Shane's still trying to find that one game.
I can't find it, dude. Like, but I know there was an old Nintendo or Sega game. It literally had like a castle and like a couple of few stars on it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
old, dude.
There was no Sega games being released for Nintendo consoles in 1997, Shane. I'm sorry.
No, not 97. I mean, it
Sega
was like
Saturn was a
old.
thing.
No, I know. I'm
Was
talking
that
about
Super
it
Mario RPG in the 7 stars?
Yeah,
no, I have that.
that game's awesome. You have the remake, don't
Yeah,
you?
or the one for the Switch. Yeah, but no, no. I mean, like this was like on an old NES or like Sega game. And it was like a castle and it had stars in the background. I just can't think of the name. I thought it was Fantasy Star. I guess not.
Hmm. Maybe it was. Maybe it was
I know it was a
Battletoads.
no, because it has toads on it.
Maybe it was Pac-Man.
No.
Pac-Man, Pac-Man, Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Waka
Pac-Man.
waka waka.
Maybe it was. You know what? I think I know what it was.
It's kind of close to that, but not a storm. It's like stars.
Why?
Yeah. Like, but that's not the one I was talking about.
Oh,
Can't
you
find
were
it.
probably talking about Knack.
Knack?
Knack.
Nah, I
No.
don't think so. No, because it was definitely like fantasy, something fantasy. I don't think it was Final Fantasy because like there's that one, and it's like a sword and axe and like a globe or something.
I should point out that Fantasy Star is spelled with a P, not an F.
Yeah,
So it's pretty recognizable.
yeah.
Hmm.
Might have
I
been
think you got Mandela affected.
possibly like that's why I can't even find it nowhere. I'm looking all over Google and can't find nothing about like old NES or Sega game with like castle and stars on it. Like nothing's popping up besides like
Castlevania.
Yeah.
So, so. Starting a sentence with so really inclines me to just start thinking of the next like topic, but I don't think I know anything. What do you guys think?
I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything on the top of my head, but also keep in mind I'm tired as hell. I've been up since
Me
5 o'clock
too.
this morning. Originally for this podcast, but then it turns out Jared was still asleep.
Well, I woke up and I felt like crap, so I went back to bed.
Yeah,
And I
well, I
texted you
kept
about it, and I
working on
was
my
like, we should
computer.
just do this later. I was like, we can't do this right now.
Yeah, and then I call him about the time we were supposed to do it, and then we got caught talking about Street Fighter, and someone fell asleep, so Jared went and woke him up, and here we are.
Yeah. It is really late. It's like 1 a.m., right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's midnight where I'm at. So, any other topics you guys want to talk about real quick?
Um.
No, but I appreciate the interview. This has been a good, like, even though it's kind of late and we're tired, it's been a good set of questions, even though we kind of came unprepared, but I mean, we got the whole studio here talking, and I feel like it was a good vibe. So we can, little broadcast for the viewers on who we are, and I feel like our inspirations are a topic that could just go on forever. So we kind of just talked about it for a little too long.
Yeah, like when it comes to music inspirations, I never got into that. My biggest one is Jun Sonoe of Crush 40. Like that's the best guitarist ever and best music producer for gaming. The guy did the Sonic Adventure games. And then Bentley Jones is also someone I would label as an inspiration when it comes to more of my EDM based tracks. And when it comes to stuff from Myths and Monsters, I'll pull from just about any fantasy RPG out there, whether that be Witcher, Zelda,
Witcher
Fire Emblem.
tattoo. I already really like The Witcher. Witcher has been one of my favorite books too. I don't know if you've read the books yet, Troy.
One, and it's like a collection of short stories. I read
Yeah.
those, but then I got busy and never got a chance to finish them.
Yeah, after the short stories, it kind of evolves it into like stories of The Witcher and stuff, like actual novel books. But also, I was watching Hellboy the other day, and I heard this song, and it's just like sometimes I'll listen to music like in a movie, and it'll just perk my ears up, and I'll be like, I gotta make some beats. Like I hear this certain synth, and I gotta like find something similar and make a beat. I don't know if you ever get like stricken with like a chord of something, and you're like immediately like this resonates with me. And for me, I'm like I immediately want to make some music. Well, anyway, that's enough of our ramblings of the tired men.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that's like worn out, tired. You two seem like you're pretty energetic.
No.
I've been pretty sick for the past few days.
He woke up from a nap to answer this call.
Man, he was sleeping before this call
Yeah,
happened.
'cause I was just worn out too from being sick.
We're like the three
Yeah, well,
unwise men.
The three exhausted men.
Yeah.
The three men
Well,
with Benadryl.
make sure you guys stay tuned. We got some podcasts scheduled on the GhostPack podcast for about the next month or two. We're gonna start trying to do them on the 1st and the 15th of every month. So next up, we got a interview with Tati Dior. Me and Sean are gonna be doing an interview with this amazing artist that's been working with Sean and some other people in the scene. Music charts have been popping off. So look forward to that and some more exclusive interviews coming up. And with that, I bid you adieu.
Huh?
does
Thanks,
Jared
y'all.
realize he just cut out?
What happened? I cut out?
Yeah,
What'd you hear?
I uh, then stop.
All right. Ghost Pack Podcast out.
I guess I'm the one having to close this thing out. Ghost Pack Podcast signing off.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful night, everybody, and go buy the damn game.
Goodbye. Have a wonderful time.
Peace.